Howdy folks, today we're looking at Silver Surfer Annual number 2 from 1989 and Marvel Comics, Part 1 of Atlantis Attacks. Friends, we arrive at an auspicious moment and one long in the making. Finally, the time has come. 37 years ago this April, Marvel embarked on the birthday celebrations for their oldest character. Yes, technically speaking, Atlantis Attacks was designed to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the Submariner. Funny, as you'll see, given that Namor barely appears. The result was one of the most ambitious crossovers in the company's history. And that's not just me. Mark Grunwald was later quoted to the effect that they all put way too much work into the series and would probably never do one like this again. And in fairness, there never has been another crossover quite like this from any company, a particularly labor-intensive enterprise, as we shall see in the weeks to come. If you're unfamiliar with the story, you will be amazed by the caliber of talent deployed throughout. And to prove the point, our first chapter features the actual creative team of Silver Surfer circa 1989. Steve Englehart and Ron Lim producing basically an additional issue of the regular series for the feature, with the art for the rest of the issue split between Lim, Jim Valentino, and Mark Bagley. This was the tail end of Englehart's run, after he'd already negotiated the terms of his withdrawal and was left a half year to wrap up his main plot, the Second Kree-Skrull War. To his credit, he also wrote the annual here that's entirely devoted to setting up other people's stories, introducing us to the primary villain of the piece, Lord Gore of Deviant Lemuria. You remember him, he was the villain of the mid-80s Eternals maxi series, who tried to steal the power of a Celestial and was shot into space for his troubles. Here, the Surfer accidentally brings about Gore's resurrection, and after a brief tussle, sees the monster return to Earth, now no longer obsessed with usurping the Celestials, but resurrecting the Elder God Set, master of the Serpent Crown. The Surfer promptly leaves. The middle part of the issue is filled with backups, which I adored at the time. Remember what I said about the effort expended? This comic taught me a lot of real facts about outer space, sprinkled in with fictional factoids about the Marvel Universe, and therefore instilled in me the expectation that Silver Surfer's story should prominently feature outer space facts, which is unfortunate as they almost never do. The Surfer's supporting cast and powers are also explored, an absolute embarrassment of riches in terms of interesting and well-drawn backup stories. Finally, the issue ends with the first chapter of the Saga of the Serpent Crown, a 14-part history that runs across the entire event. Peter Sanderson is the writer, who you might remember from Wolverine Saga. He's the guy you want on the wall to make sense of all this. This installment presents a retelling of the origins of life on Earth as the enigmatic Demiurge seeds the infant world with the life force that became the first generation of elder gods, the three most prominent of whom being Thor's mother Gaia, the nefarious Thone, and Set himself. This is nothing less than the first story in the history of the world, and more recently, the foundation stone of Al Ewing's work on the immortal Thor.